detective. Thrill me.
Thanks for joining us. We've gone back to the Sharks, Jared, for tonight. Cruel Jaws, 1995. Before we get to that, though, what have you been watching? I've only seen one movie. We watched it earlier on yesterday, Jared, called Snow Beast, 1977. I fell asleep halfway through it.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a TV movie, so it had limitations.
Yeah.
It had some nice locales, snowy wilderness, actually shot on location.
Yeah.
Some really nice ski footage I felt they got. It was too much, but it was good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't need to see any more of that. But.
And they did try to hide the beast because they knew that they didn't have much to work with.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call it great, but it was watchable.
Yeah, it was all right.
Bo Svensson, tearing it up.
Yeah, look, they hid the beast too much in the end.
Yeah, you never really saw it, did
They
you?
hid it too much in the end, and there was far too much skiing at him.
Yeah.
Far too much.
I mean, it was 90 minutes and 24 minutes. I mean, fucking Warren Miller directed that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was okay.
What else have you got?
I watched a little bit of Gaza Daniels.
Gary.
White Tiger.
White Tiger.
I watched White Tiger.
Is this peak Gary? 90s Gary?
It was 90s Gary. Not Gary's peak, I wouldn't have said. The peak's not the word I would have used. It was okay. The villain was, I always forget his name, but Carrie, he was Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
So, yeah, it had a few things going for it, but Gary was a little underdone.
As a thespian?
Acting-wise, yeah.
Good with his feet.
Yeah, but it wasn't, there wasn't a whole lot of martial arts work in there. I would have liked a little more hand-to-hand work.
But also,
it was, all right. It was okay.
Get in your lane.
Yeah.
You've got to kick ass. That's Gary's strength.
Yes. Obviously, started watching another shark film, Deep Blood. Still working through that. I would say it's going to be
similar to this one.
No, a little higher quality, maybe. Not to go out too early, but Jaws is still safe. I'd suggest.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this many times. Jaws is going to be safe for fucking ever.
yeah.
I'd suggest.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I started the doco series. I think it was called Out There. And it's an interesting spin. It's essentially like a true crime, but it's taken on these cases that have a paranormal or a twist in there that is unable to be explained neatly.
Okay.
So the first episode involved a bloke who possibly disappeared in a UFO. Maybe I'm thinking that's probably not what happened to him, but yeah, it was pretty good, the first episode. Obviously, I've been circling. It's from the same director. I think his name was Josh Roth, and the production was done by the Duplass brothers, and they whipped together that Sasquatch one, which for some reason has just not been available on Australian streaming, purchasing, anywhere. I cannot watch the thing without resorting to illegal means, and I'm a man of high character.
You're a stand-up guy.
I'm a stand-up guy, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, first episode was reasonably good.
Okay. That's
it.
That's coverage. All right, we might do a quick up or down. New slasher movie dropped a trailer the other day called Heart Eyes. It's directed by Josh Rubin, who directed Werewolves Within, and it stars Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt. The trailer, I'm an up on. Looks solid, like the costume of the killer. Looks like it's got the classic slasher movie fucking motifs and tropes. You know, it'll be probably violent. I believe it's got co-written by Christopher Landon, who wrote Freaky and Happy Death Day. So I've got reasonable hopes.
Look at you. You're fucking positive. You're bubbly.
I am basically, this is as excited as I've been in a while. All right, what was your take?
Yeah, I'm an up. Probably not as excited as you. It was pretty... What I saw was... It's another one of these ones where you watch it and you're like, it's hard to gauge because it looks pretty standard down the line. So until we know more about sort of the story and whatever, but so far so good.
Okay.
Definitely something we'll be checking out.
Well, I dug something like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yep.
I liked Thanksgiving and it was straightforward.
Yes.
And all it did was it just did it well.
Yeah.
And I think that I would prefer that when you're talking about slasher pictures.
And this is, this is what it's looking like in the trailer. It didn't look like it was throwing too many curveballs at us. So it's going to very much be determined by, if that's the case, it's going to be very much determined by how they handle that. That's those sort of standard slasher
pieces,
bits and pieces.
All right, let's take a break. Here's a trailer for 1995's Cruel Jaws.
Talk rubbish, boy. This is not the place nor the time.
Cruel Jaws from 1995, directed by Bruno Mattei as William Schneider, and he directed Island of the Living Dead. It's produced by John Kent. The story was by Robert Fiennes and Linda Morrison, who wrote Dutch Book. The screenplay was by Bruno Mattei, Linda Morrison, and Robert Fiennes. It stars David Luther as Francis Berger, George Barnes Jr. as Samuel Lewis, Scott Silvera as Bob Snevenson, Kristen Urso as Susie Sorensen, and Richard Dew as Dag Sorensen. Budget unknown, box office unknown. I've got quite a bit of trivia and stuff here. It lifts footage from Jaws, Jaws 2, Deep Blood, The Last Shark, and Jaws 3. Actor Richard Dew, who portrayed the character of Dag, was also an uncredited stand-in for Hulk Hogan on both Assault on Devil's Island and Assault on Death Mountain because of his resemblance to the famous pro wrestler. And the tagline for this movie was, "This time it's even more personal than last time." So
obviously being marketed as Jaws 5.
Correct.
Gotta love the Italians just, flouting copyright when they feel like it, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And surely Universal were just like, who fucking cares? Like who cares?
Well, didn't the same director make a Terminator 2?
Yeah,
Obviously
he
not
did.
the Terminator 2, but he made a Terminator 2. And you forgot to mention, Adam, that he also lifted the music from Star Wars at
He
certain
did.
points.
He did. So fucking all round, he's a fucking rip-off merchant, the big man.
It's a sampler. He's
a sampler.
Bits and pieces.
All right, Jared. Thoughts? Cruel Jaws. This is a tough one to rate, in my opinion.
Oh, look. Yeah, it's a difficult rating. I would say the filmmaking is inept. It's fucking strange. Like, it's a strange picture. There's so many bits where the camera angles, the things that Bruno's shooting look weird. The dialogue is horrendous. Not a single person in there seems like they've ever acted before. And I'd probably say it's my second favourite shark movie that I've ever watched. So it's a very hard one to rate. I think if I'm rating it as a movie, it's got to be like a 1. Like, it's shocking, but it's hugely entertaining. It's a little like Pieces that way, Adam. It's the Pieces of shark
Which
films,
also was an Italian picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it had in, yeah.
I would agree. There's 2 ratings. There's a half a star for filmmaking. The filmmaking sucks. I mean, as you said, you don't even have fucking back and forth camera work when you're talking to people having a chat.
And the
it's
only
always
time
shot from the side.
the only time they seem to do a close up is for strange reaction shots to everything. It's really
And
weird.
all the actors, their reactions are not in keeping with what the fuck they were supposed to react to. But for sheer fucking comedy purposes, it's like Pieces. It's 5 out of 5. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, from a filmmaking perspective, I've got to say half a star. Admittedly, I would watch that shit again any day of the week.
Yeah.
Like if you said to me, let's watch Cruel Jaws.
I want to watch it again tonight.
Fucking boom. I'd be straight on it. So it's half a star for filmmaking purposes. But what we're going to do for this one is not likes and dislikes. We're just going.
Adam.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to do. So we're just going to go head to toe.
Yeah.
And run you through it. So starting out, cold open. Boat on the water, out in the ocean, 2 fucking dudes saying that there's a wreck down below that was carrying top secret material or something, didn't they say?
2 dudes named Jose and Paco who are as white as I am.
Yeah, they're fucking white Americans
American
with fucking slightly southern accents. So fucking Paco and Jose.
Yep.
No, that's not not right.
Yeah.
They dive overboard. They go to this wreck. It's extremely dark. You can't see what's
shit.
going on. The underwater footage is...
Yeah. I'd like to say, Adam, we're on... It's like we're sailing on very fucking rough seas from the beginning.
Yes.
Here. It hasn't started well.
Bruno didn't get his feet under him.
No,
initially.
Bruno didn't have his sea legs at all at this point. And the underwater stuff is choppy. And again, the inept filmmaking starts from the get-go when we're treated to a bit of footage of the shark kind of looking like it's ramming a thing, and then the footage is just played again backwards to look like it's backing out. It's just, yeah.
But on top of that, it seems to roar for some reason.
Yep.
Underwater.
Yep.
I'm not really sure what the fuck's going on there.
Yeah.
And then to add insult to that, the bloke up on the top on the boat, who is a shocking actor, mind you, fucking shocking.
You're going to be saying that a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know, far out.
I think it's just like, if we don't say it, just assume it's a default. Everyone's a shocking
Yeah,
actor.
don't think that there's a performance worth considering in this movie. But he's up there and he's going, you've got 3 minutes of air left. They've been down there for the fucking sum total of about 3 minutes.
I don't reckon.
I don't
I reckon they were about 2 minutes in there.
Was there a time
Did
lapse?
you check the tank, mate? Like, fuck. Yeah.
Is there a time lapse or something? Because no, it's this shit filmmaking where we're trying to cram it all in. We're trying to sort of make out like we're trying to build some sort of suspense. These guys are in the shit.
Yeah.
So, of course, these guys all die.
Yeah.
Then we sort of cut to our key people where things get real fucking weird.
Yeah. And because, again, we never establish who's the lead. It seems
No,
to be,
it kind of jumps around depending upon scenes.
I mean, for a couple of minutes it's Hulk. For a couple of minutes it's the oceanographer character, whatever he is.
and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Then we get the two pussy inspectors, which we'll get to a little bit later. But the acting's a mixed bag, Jared. I think Hulk Hogan pops on
It's
the scene.
not a mixed bag. It's of a low level.
Because
The dialogue and the acting all round from start to finish there's no high spots out of it.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Shit. One guy looks like Hulk Hogan, looks fucking very much like Hulk Hogan. Like,
Yeah.
I can see how, but Hulk's more emotive, and he's not an actor.
Yeah, Hulk is. Yeah. How do you get compared to Hulk Hogan and say Hulk's a better actor?
Oh fuck, mate, he's terrible, this bloke. But then we also meet his daughter, who is Susie.
Yeah.
And we meet her in the water with a couple of dolphins, which they're the performances of the picture.
The dolphins and the seal.
have clearly been well trained. But she's in the water and everyone's all like happy and shit. Then they all come up, everyone's smiling and stuff. And then they pick her out of the water and her fucking legs go limp. And they put her in a wheelchair, and the reaction from everybody is fucking, oh.
Yeah, we get a couple of close-ups of Billy and what's her name, Vanessa.
Yeah. And they're like,
I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, fuck, come on, guys.
And
Like,
by the way, Susie was fucking using her legs
yeah, she
in
was
the water.
kicking around pretty
I
comfortably in the
can't
water.
say- Bruno, once again, should have been saying, just use your heads. Okay?
And we're treated to some brilliant dialogue when she fucking pops out of the water and goes, Vanessa, you're back. You're as beautiful as ever. And then just kind of proceeds to fucking start having a conversation. I'm like, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fucking very odd for like a 10-year-old. But, so once they get out of there, it cuts to a shot of like all four of them standing there, and it's clear that they're waiting to call action. So they're all fucking standing there like fucking mannequins, and then it's like they start moving.
Ridiculous.
Clearly,
ridiculous.
Bruno.
And this is where
did it
Bruno
well.
this is where Bruno exceeds. Everything seems to be just like, oh, I'll just get all of this in one quick shot.
One shot.
I'll catch you walking, and then when you sit down, I'll sit here and have all the dialogue.
Three conversations going on at once. There's fucking four people in the shot.
And then occasionally, instead of a close up of someone talking and giving their dialogue or whatever, I'll just cut to somebody else going, ooh. It's like giving us a stupid reaction shot. It's so weird.
But then whilst they're walking, once they finally they take their cue of action and they're walking, Hulk Hogan, whose name is fucking inexplicably Dag, which for our non-Australian audience, Dag in Australia is known as a fucking piece of shit hanging off the back of a sheep's ass. So it certainly came with a few sort of head-scratching sort of considerations in this case. But he starts talking. He's like, "Oh, it's been a really tough time." And when I speak like him, I'm doing it exactly as he does.
The level of emoting.
It's been a really tough time. I lost my wife. I lost my will to live. I lost Susie's smile.
I think he goes, I lost everything. I lost my wife. I lost my will to live. Yeah.
It's just
and
like,
he delivers it.
Fuck, mate, put something
as
into
I said
it.
to you, he delivers it in a fashion that wouldn't convince me that he's lost his fucking car keys. Like,
yeah. Oh, there they are.
oh, yeah, there's my will to live. That's where I put it.
I left it back at the dock. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But it's hugely entertaining.
And then we get to the shot where Bruno's got them all fucking crammed into the
just all
lens.
standing next to each other. We're getting exposition with Dag standing almost with his back to the camera, just talking across the fucking shot to everybody.
And the sheriff turns up and says, "Sorry, Dag, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to evict you in 30 days." And Dag goes, "Oh, well, you've been pretty good to us, and 30 days is a long time. Anything
good
can
friend.
Anything can happen in 30
Again,
days."
I wouldn't be surprised if Dag, brought the same tone with, "Get the fuck out of here. You're a real prick, you are." Like, just like the same delivery as telling him what a great friend he is. There would have been
Similar, yeah.
there would have been no
anger,
variation.
no fucking remonstration. But the remonstration is taken up by his fucking buddy who we've don't know anything about. He doesn't have a name, but he's like, that fat prick, I'll rip his balls off.
Yeah. Then he disappears for a while.
You need to calm down.
Just simmer down. Look, Dag's the leader of the group. Let's just follow his sort of lead with the emotions here and keep it low.
The guy just fucking goes off.
But it's hilarious. It's got to be one of the great exposition scenes I've ever seen in my life in terms of acting, dialogue, everything
incredible.
they put on the table.
And then we immediately cut away from that to some woman walking down the street in a bikini and these two dudes going, oh, yeah, baby. Did you see those titties? They're like watermelons. Fuck me.
Yeah, well, that's the least. That's the least of what they start to get up to in this scene.
One of them has got a fucking superb mullet. I mean, it's 95. You shouldn't be having a mullet.
Yeah, I was thinking he's kind of going the Kevin Sorbo Hercules look.
Yeah, actually true.
He's got.
It did have a Hercules style about it.
Yeah.
But 3 more girls come along, and one of these dudes proceeds to step in front of them and go, hey, I'm a pussy inspector. I better take a look.
I think he tells him. He tells him, I'm in charge of pussy and I need to check. I was like, dude.
And then one of the other bloke, the guy with the mullet gives it these ones.
Yeah. Another reaction shot. It cuts to him and then it seems to dub the chuckle. So he kind of throws his head back and then you hear this. It doesn't really match. But then we cut straight back to the girls chanting at the local inspector. Right. We get a dick brain chant. I
haven't heard dick brain in fucking forever.
Yeah. I mean, you're going for that. You're reaching deep into the toolkit for that one.
And don't get me wrong, dick brain is correct.
Yeah.
It is the correct sentiment for these guys, but fuck. Unbelievable.
I mean, reaching for dick brain, but then chanting it is also
dick brain.
A winner.
And then we cut to the next sequence is. Oh no, that's right. The two pussy inspectors come together for a quick fucking powwow about what's going on, and one of them looks over and sees what turns out to be Dag's son. We weren't aware of it at the time.
Yeah,
and he's talking with Mullet's sister.
Yes, Hercules' Kevin Sorbo's sister.
And he goes, "Oh, she's interested in fucking the Viking son." That's how they.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to say, "I'll rip his fucking balls off."
Yeah, again, everyone's into if you're doing something off course in this sort of region, you're liable to have your balls torn off. That seems to be the go-to for everybody. You're doing the wrong thing.
I'll cut your balls off.
Yeah.
And ram them down.
So I'm not sure what the female population are threatened with. But
well, they're having their pussies looked at.
Yeah, by these two. That's the... Yeah, it's...
for God's sake.
You skipped past one that I was thoroughly amused by, but we first find the body, which is found by these two idiots.
Yeah, that's right.
But we get we get a police presence and the sheriff turns up and gives it the officer, can we move everybody back? And the bloke literally turns around and starts going, all right, everybody back, and shooing people away from the dead body that's just been discovered on the beach.
Judging by the way I saw that scene playing out, that they were standing over that corpse.
Yeah, everyone was fucking having a good look.
But just to let people know too, if you remember the sequence in Jaws 2 where they find the dead killer whale, this is basically exactly the same.
Taking the same
shots, the same approach, the same dialogue to an extent.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yes. But, have you heard of police tape, fellas? I'm led to believe it's used from time to time, especially when there's dead bodies around.
Standing over the destroyed corpse that's on the ground beneath you.
Yeah.
Okay, then we cut to 2 people going for a swim. which I thought was in the morning.
I would say frolicking at him.
They were frolicking. One of
Frolicking.
them's name's Jan. He's a fucking Scandinavian character. But I thought it was like morning.
Yeah.
It's day for night shooting,
Bad
so it
day
looks
for
terrible. It turns out to be evening. But it's also using a bit of the Jaws, the opening sequence of Jaws.
Yeah.
When the girl goes out for a swim and tells old mate. But it adds this bit where Jan won't go in straight away. First, he's like, oh, fuck. Because she's sort of, they're making out, they're getting hot and heavy. And then she goes, I'd like to go for a swim. And he's like, oh, stuff you.
I remember what he says, but he's not real happy about it.
Happy. And then she fucking tells him, come on, Jans, come on in. And he gets up and he walks to the water's edge, puts his foot in, and he goes, oh, it's cold.
It's freezing.
Fuck me. Honestly. Get some balls.
It's freezing. Yeah, it was good.
Unless they haven't already been ripped off by
yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. He's probably recently had them removed by Ronnie and co.
And the sequence, so this is the thing, all of these scenes that feel like Jaws and Jaws 2, they're just, if they were made by bad filmmakers. It's the same shit.
It's
but
like
it's
let's just make Jaws, but it's far too good. We've got to just make it
let's
as
fucking
bad
bring
as we
it down a
possibly
few
can.
notches.
Yeah.
Now, the pussy inspectors then get involved in a little bit of hijinks, Jared. They turn up because Dag seems to run like an aquarium.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think you're
didn't see anything other than the dolphins and the seal.
Yeah. But you're just prior to that, they get into a blue with Bob, is it?
Yes.
Dag's son.
Yes, that's right.
Dag's son. And because Ronnie, Pussy Inspector number 2, is his sister, is...
Likes the cut of Bob's jib,
Yes.
so to speak.
So it's time to rip some testicles as far as, as far as we can see. So Ronnie then decides the first course of action is to slap his sister.
I know.
Ronnie.
Fuck, this is a ongoing theme in this film.
It
too.
is, yeah. But
Ronnie slaps his sister and then beats the shit out of Bob.
Beats the shit out of Bob. And then if we didn't think he was big enough dick already...
He heads around to the aquarium and fucking tries to kill the dolphins with rat poison.
With rat poisoned fish.
Infused in fish.
Yes. Luckily, he's thwarted by the sensitive nose of Hulk Hogan, who happens to smell the rat poison.
Something's going on, brother.
Yeah, he picks up a fish and goes, "Oh, quick, get so-and-so." Like, the fish are in trouble. The dolphins are in trouble. But, so, like, I'm...
Is it an aquarium or is it just...
They call it the aquarium, but it looks for all money like SeaWorld, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like everything's outdoors. We never see anything
indoors. So it's not really an aquarium. It's just...
But, we're led to believe Hulk doesn't pay his rent, so... Dag doesn't pay his rent,
Dag
so
does not
there
pay
could
his
be an
rent.
indoor part that he's had access barred from.
There's some weird fucking shit that comes up later on about his rent too.
Yeah.
That I never quite understood. And again, Bruno probably didn't know what he was shooting and when, so God only knows where things went. But now, Jan's girlfriend is eaten.
Yes.
She is eaten. I don't know how many fucking times someone says to the sheriff, a shark. And the sheriff's like, eaten by a shark. Like, repeats it.
Yes.
No, mate. No.
For the third time,
No,
it's
trampled by an elephant,
shark.
dipshit. What the fuck do you think I was saying? God.
By this point, the sheriff's already, because the film's a little low on action on land, Bruno just decided to throw the sheriff leaping over the railing on a
Outside his
ramp,
office.
and then he casually walks. He lands off his leap and then just casually walks to the car.
And it has this kind of like wow, and this kind of fucking 70s disco music or some shit in the background. But
yeah, it's I compared it to like a fucking pulsating soundtrack from a fucking cut rate beat 'em up or something.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it's
kind of.
yeah.
This is where things don't quite gel Firstly, the mayor
Just here? Just now?
no, they haven't chilled at all. But we finally see the cracks starting to appear. We start to see
Finally.
the cracks.
I thought it was holding together beautifully.
It's like cutting together like butter. Shit. And the cracks start to open up here with Bruno. So the mayor turns up. The seal pushes the mayor into the fucking water, which
Yeah,
once
bit of slapstick.
again, slapstick.
Bit of slapstick.
You can't have that. But the mayor keeps saying to Dag in this sequence, "Look, I'll give you a wad of cash. You can."
So he's not the mayor.
He's not the mayor.
He's the businessman. The mayor was the mustachioed bloke that we saw earlier.
Oh yes, okay.
Where we had a scene that looked kind of familiar. I don't know where I'd seen it before, but
That's
the mayor
right.
wouldn't close the beaches.
I saw
Fucking,
it.
we read
I
about
saw
it.
it in 1975. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But okay, so the businessman turns up and goes, "I'll give you a wad of cash, mate. I'll give you a wad of cash."
Yeah. You'll have enough cash to keep you going for a couple of years.
And
he
it's
says.
like, but you've been told to get out. Like,
Yeah, 30 days because you haven't paid your rent.
you haven't paid your rent. You're being evicted. So the mayor or the town owns the property that he is on.
Adam, I'm not a real
Why
estate expert.
Why
but
am I trying to work this out?
I'm not a real estate expert, but I thought if the bloke hadn't paid his rent and the lease was up, it sounded like it was getting to that point. But even then, he's been evicted. The proceedings have started.
Yeah. So no wad of cash is required.
No.
In my opinion.
And this bloke owns the facility from what we
could make
gather.
out. So why the fuck are you offering him money, idiot?
yeah.
Just tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, but he said he's got 30 days. The last time I checked, that's not how
quick enough.
that's not how eviction works. If you've already hit that point, your 30 days are up.
Yeah, you're out.
You're fucking out of there.
The debt collectors are fucking rocking up, mate. The repo men are coming.
Exactly.
There is a fucking incredible sequence now involving Billy, which is the oceanographer guy. Fuck people. I mean, no, you're going to have trouble here because fuck me, I couldn't work out who these people were.
Yeah, I mixed it up a couple of
Mixed it
times.
a couple
Billy
of
and
times.
Bob.
Okay, Bob is Dag's son. Billy is the oceanographer dude who's dating Vanessa.
I mean, his acting is
Atrocious.
world class.
It's fucking atrocious. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss is safe, I would say.
Yeah, Jaws is pretty comfortable.
But Billy, who's dating Vanessa, they have a blue because Billy,
She's just
he wants
annoyed.
to do his job.
Yeah.
He wants to actually do his job and stop people from getting fucking murdered in the sea. But Vanessa's
This is an
not having
ongoing
it.
thing, Adam. I mean, he's been wanting to keep people safe for far too long now.
And Vanessa says, "Fuck you," and leaves in a huff.
In a half.
Next thing you know, we're at the nightclub, and guess who just happens to be prowling the nightclub fucking corridors? The pussy inspectors.
Yes.
They're back out, right?
And of course, you would turn up there because on the bill tonight is a band who seems to be smashing out a keyboard number. But what you're hearing, Adam, doesn't appear to have any keyboards in it. It appears to have a lot of guitars, and I didn't see a single guitar.
Yeah. Bruno.
I suggest maybe Bruno was pinching musical tracks that didn't belong.
Look,
They certainly didn't belong in that nightclub at that time, from what I could see.
Bruno's fucking thing was, look, they're not interested in us. They don't care about us,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They won't fucking mind.
Yeah,
Won't even
fucking
know
let
about
him-
this.
Yeah, we'll
This
just
is making money in Italy, mate.
We'll just make our wad of cash, and then we'll see what comes. We'll see if anyone notices. Basically,
no one's going to notice. But one of the fucking pussy inspectors, Ronnie,
Ronnie.
so the
Who is-
Mr. Mullet,
who is the-
mullet guy, who's the main pussy inspector.
businessman.
Would you say he was the pussy?
We started
inspector?
off as the sidekick inspector,
But it turned out he did more inspections in a year.
Well, that very quickly flips, and it's
he became employee of the week.
yeah. But we find out a little before this that he is the businessman's son.
Yes. Okay. So we've now connected everything.
We've
Is
connected
everyone?
all the assholes in town to each other. We've connected all the good guys.
You know what?
And all of the shit actors in
If
town
it
are all
helps
in
you
this
at
hodgepodge
home, if
as
it
well.
helps you at home, consider this group of people like a human centipede.
Yeah.
They're all connected, asshole to mouth. So Ronnie gives this Vanessa, because Vanessa, when you've just broken up with your boyfriend of however long, your first thing port of call is head to a nightclub. and try and fucking get into bed with
Well, if
anyone
you know,
can.
if that's where the local PIs hang out, then that's where you go. Isn't it?
Yeah. And his comment to her is, he looks at her and he goes, I'm generous. I'm free. I'm confused about what I don't know. But,
About the script.
and I'm full of love. And then he just looks at her and goes, you want to go someplace?
And that has worked an absolute charm.
Boom.
Because she says, yes, I do.
She says, yes. What I want to do is go and fucking swim in what's possibly shark-infested water.
Yeah. I didn't listen to a word that my boyfriend said for the last however long he's been
He's
chatting
a
with the sheriff.
fucking oceanographer.
I mean, the sheriff was the one that interrupted our session earlier on. So maybe there's still a danger here, but I'm just going to flout it tonight.
And I believe
feeling
when
good.
he breaks in, the sheriff says, there's been another shark attack.
I think
which
he does,
tells
yeah.
me,
Don't go in the water.
don't go in the water, fuckwit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do. They go down to the water. There's some hijinks here. This is where we get a little bit of, once again, hijinks. You know, the Pussy Inspector 2 decides we better go down there with a bullhorn and fucking roust them out of there.
I mean, you say hijinks, Adam. I say more bad filmmaking.
Okay, yeah, poor filmmaking for Bruno.
Oh, dear.
But that occurs. But is this where Vanessa? No, Vanessa gets killed later. My apologies.
No,
people.
that's
I
at the
continue to jump
regatta.
ahead. The fucking regatta.
The regatta,
Oh, God.
which comes
It's
on.
got it's got a cavalcade of problems.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a laundry list of problems. as well.
Regatta's a fucking mishmash of Jaws 2, Deep Blood, bad special effects.
Everything. Fucking everything. But there's one weird thing in this sequence where Ronnie and her are in the water. The shark pops up, and like Jaws, they're trying to use like in Jaws, they use the barrel. So the barrels come up, you know the shark was there. They're using this pink buoy that was never attached to the shark ever before this.
No, it seems it's. I think the shark opens the scene by
Bashing
running
through
into like a
buoy of some kind, does he?
like a rope or something. Fuck, I don't know, Adam.
fuck's
I
sake.
was like Billy. I'm full of love, but I'm confused. My love's actually running out the more I watch the movie. But
Well, it was Ronnie who was confused.
Ronnie, sorry.
Fuck me.
Well, obviously, I'm very confused.
There are people listening to this going, did you guys actually watch this? Are you just fucking making this up?
I needed name tags. I needed people to come on screen with fucking name tags. on.
The fucking subtitles needed to have names attributed to everyone who spoke. That would have helped. And you know what? This is why Ronnie became top pussy inspector though, because when he makes it happen, it fucking happens. He actually does. He manages to inspect.
Well, I don't know. We cut away from whatever was going on with Vanessa the previous night, but I assumed that.
Yeah, next night he's with some other.
But then we get to the regatta and he's kissing on the bird that was with the other
who
inspector.
called him a dick brain.
when they switched. Yeah, she was involved in calling him Dick Brain too. That's right. So, I mean, he's really turned things around in the space of a day with these two women.
But when you tell them you're confused, I'm free. When you tell them that shit, it usually works by the sound of it.
Yeah. That was very, very strange.
The regatta, Jared. This is a fucking hodgepodge. It's something all of its own. The regatta is obviously a windsurfing tournament,
it's a
which is a fucking disaster
windsurfing.
because they're all lining up at the spot.
Yeah.
It's a mess. There's shit everywhere. There's people.
It starts with a couple of shots that I just saw in Deep Blood of two boats with not a windsurfer to be seen. So, but yeah, once we get the windsurfing action, it's
clear
it's a
that
mess,
Bob
Adam.
and Ronnie are on
dry land, and shaking back and
They
forth.
don't even bother to throw some water at it.
No, and then we cut to other people that are actually doing it.
Actual windsurfing.
And then quickly cut back to these two who are bone dry, yelling at each other and shaking their things back and forth.
calling each other fucking names.
Yeah, what does Bob say to Roddy? You're disgusting. Yeah, well, we've established that pretty well.
And that's where we just use a million different shark movies.
Yeah,
We take shots from fucking everything, and the editing is just a jumble of shit. Like it's just every fucking next shot is from another movie. So the lighting's different.
So it's no wonder Roddy's confused. Fuck. Yeah, lighting's different. I don't think the shark was consistent.
No, it wasn't.
Even in this scene.
No,
like it was
wasn't.
different
It wasn't.
sharks.
So 1 minute it's fucking Jaws, the next minute it's bloody the last shark. So it just looks totally different. It's just a nightmare. Doesn't make a lick of sense.
No.
I mean, there's a moment where Dad goes, fuck. He sees the shark from a distance. He's on dry land, mind you. And he goes, get everyone out of the water. And not a minute later, he's out on the water in his boat. I'm like, hang on. Takes a fucking minute to run down to the boat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a shambles.
Yeah, it's a shocker.
This is where Vanessa gets killed too.
Yes, which is baffling. Like you watch it and you get, I think we get a bit of Jaws too with some footage underneath.
The girl trying to get Sean up onto the boat.
But then we go a shot of Billy, who seems to be close enough to grab her, but he's sitting there yelling at her going, no! Trying to reach at her and all this. But then we get a shot of her dip under the water and he goes, fucking like it's all done and dusted. And then, you know, the music and everything
Swells.
to cue that, she's dead. Then she fucking resurfaces and we cut to the hospital in which the fucking dialogue exchanges seem to
indicate
she's dead.
Although Dad tells his fucking daughter, oh no, she's back at home.
Yeah.
Good one, you knob.
Well, that's exactly where we're just heading. So you're going to have to fucking...
You better come up with something better there.
You got about 10 minutes.
She must have
to
gone
come
out
up
for a
with
pint of milk.
Yeah.
She'll be back in never.
She just hit the local nightclub again looking for Roddy.
Look, she left. She left town, okay?
Yeah.
We'll never see her again. They also keep talking about a tiger shark. They keep talking about a tiger shark, but the fucking footage, both real and fake, is all great white sharks.
Oh, I think there's a couple of different ones. At one point, it was a dolphin, wasn't it?
Yeah. Fucking Bruno, that's lazy. Fucking lazy.
That's the height of laziness, Bruno.
It looks nothing like a shark. Nothing. And yet you're going to fucking foose that upon it.
It seems to change, but yeah, mostly a great white.
It is a dolphin that hits the boat at the start. Oh, fucking hell. Honestly. Bruno, you lazy bastard.
Yeah, at least at a bare minimum, it's got to be footage of some kind of shark
or a fucking tiger shark.
Any shark by Bruno's standards, but just a dolphin, that's too far.
Yeah, Bruno. You're like, no one will know. That's what he would have told him. No one will
notice.
There's also in this sequence here, because it's kind of like the whole, preparing, like the whole sequence where they try and, in Jaws, they try and say to the community, look, we're going to try and catch the shark and everything like that.
Yeah.
And Dag is standing up the front fucking holding court and telling everyone, it's like a fucking, it's like a killing machine with teeth and all this sort of crap and rambling on about what this, that and the other. This is how you kill it. And then he stops and goes, Billy, over to you. You're the expert.
Yeah.
That's not how I saw it a second ago.
But
you were
prior to
telling
that,
me fucking everything there was to know.
the funny thing is, prior to that, they make it clear that Dag runs the bloody aquarium, but they don't give any further background. So when he jumps into the middle there, it's like that's pretty jarring. And then it comes out after that. He's talking about, when I used to be out on the water, this and that, and he's telling Billy, you bring all this equipment out, blah blah blah. We used to do it like this. And I'm like, this. When, Dad?
Yeah. When did we get told that you were a salty sea dog back in the day who fucking killed sharks?
Yeah.
Because at one point he's got like
now
a big
you're a
harpoon.
salty sea dog who moonlights as a pro wrestler from time to time.
Yeah. Drops a big leg whenever you can. But it's fucking jarring, all right, because the guy seems to be up front telling us how it is.
Yeah.
And then turns to Billy and goes, you're the expert, I'll fucking take over. And Billy then mumbles some crap about, it's got weak points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a video game, Adam. When you go out to actually get to the shark,
This
you'll
is
see a
the
little
big boss.
green dot sort of...
You got to hit it.
You got to time it right, though, just right.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Now, in that sequence too, again, massive amounts of Jaws being regurgitated, including the conversation that Dag has about how it eats whatever. I don't know what's going to do with your fucking fancy equipment. It's probably going to eat it. You know, like that's what Quint tells Hooper when they're on the boat. At the same time, these dudes are gearing up because they're sort of gearing up on their orca. We've got Ronnie and co gearing up to get on.
Just prior to that, we regurgitate things that didn't even make it into Jaws.
That's right, the fucking mob.
Well, we bring the mob in. Not needed. And incredibly silly.
Not needed at all.
Yes.
Bruno, you can't even get the shark stuff right, mate.
Yeah.
Don't include extras.
I recall you kind of, when we were watching it, you said, oh, well, you know, geez, no wonder they removed it from Jaws. And I was like, well, it wouldn't have been like this. It was in Jaws. It probably still would have been vastly superior.
Someone with a modicum of sense would have written it. Fucking hell.
But the wording... The guy starts going, well, you better make sure that shark's eliminated. And we're like, well, fuck. So now the shark's made enemies with the mob.
Oh, my God.
And like, it's ludicrous, Adam.
Lunacy. But Ronnie gets his gear on and they the girl, can't remember her name, the third girl that he's managed to inspect.
One. Yep.
Quickly turn it around from calling him a dick brain 1 minute to fucking getting it in her pants.
Well, we never always
moves
see
fast.
A couple of smooches, but
we're assuming that Ronnie's moving into that. She goes, oh, here's a shotgun my dad had, and Ronnie takes the shotgun and goes, 12 gauge, cool. Weird. Man, good one, Ronnie. Thank you for that. And then this is where the Star Wars music kicks in. Where they've just geared up to roll out onto the ocean. We get fucking Star Wars.
Perfect place to put the Star Wars music. I just thought natural fit. And I heard it.
Yeah. If it's not in space, it's best used when you get your cronies together to kill a shark.
Bruno's films, they're like, when, back in school, you'd have an art project and it'd be like, cut all these bits out of a magazine and stick them all together to make a picture. That's like Bruno's movies.
I'm going to say it's like a fucking ransom note.
It is. But unfortunately, it's got Bruno's fingerprints all over the fucking...
But I'm going to say I was held to ransom by Bruno's fucking filmmaking for 93 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
It's words cannot describe the reasoning behind this musical change. No. I don't understand it. And then
I think it's cheap. It's cheap to use music that has already been made that you haven't got the rights to. I'm led to believe it's reasonably cheap to do that.
Then we get out when Ronnie and Co are out on the sea chasing down the shark. We get this sequence where he falls in the water. That's right.
Yeah.
They're shooting at the shark and it's coming towards them. And again, we're using fucking bits from every other movie we can find.
Yeah.
And Ronnie gets knocked overboard.
Around.
Ronnie falls in the water. The shark comes up, grabs him, pulls him under. The new girlfriend comes fucking charging out, screaming like a lunatic with a barrel of petrol and starts pouring it over herself. And then one guy
I think she's trying to pour it on the shark.
But she's clearly
it's going everywhere, yeah.
And then some dude fires a flare gun and that's the end of that.
And it's a laugh riot. And it's
And the boat explodes.
The boat is gone.
Again, cut from Jaws 2. Taken from Jaws.
Yep.
This is where things are going. This is like, Bruno's kind of like David Lynch. But for like filmmakers with no skill.
Please elaborate.
Well, nobody knows what Lynch is going on about.
Okay.
You find me someone who can tell me about fucking Mulholland Drive or fucking Lost Highway.
Might have a few words about it.
David couldn't. David doesn't even know. But Bruno's like fucking Z grade David Lynch. Because he doesn't seem to want to know how, he doesn't care or know how whether anything should be actually stitched together properly.
No.
There's a sequence too when Bob is underwater on his boat because he goes down to cut the line that's stopping the propeller, and the shark turns up and Bob fucking races to the surface, and the shot from underneath definitely gets out.
Yeah, you see
Everything
the
comes
feet
out of the water.
come out of the water.
Next shot, Bob's surfacing like a top.
His head pops up. Yeah. Like, come on. Continuity at the very least, Bruno. I know it's hard when you're stitching together 5 different movies, but it seems like we could at least do that, couldn't
Bruno, there wasn't a shot that in Jaws that was like what you wanted. All right.
no.
I'll
I
have
better
to shoot some
I can
fucking
do it myself.
fallback stuff.
Yep.
How much, now, Jared, I got a question here. Looking at that, how much actual filming do you reckon they did? How much of it is legitimate, made? I reckon 50%.
I'll give him credit and I'll say, I don't know, what was it, 90 minutes? Let's say maybe 50.
50
We're
minutes.
lucky.
50 minutes is actual.
Maybe more than that. I'll give it
Maybe 60.
60. I'll say 60 minutes.
So about 30
Because
minutes.
there was a
is-
fair bit of shark footage. I mean, there was a lot of the characters. There was a lot of the actors. But almost whenever it goes underwater or
Shark
we see the
footage.
shark, it's
clearly
something
from another
different.
movie, including one whole fucking sequence that's cut from an entire movie, which is also a bad shark movie. I don't know why Bruno, you were doing all right, nicking from Jaws. You could have
Which
stuck with
sequence
that.
was this? I'm fucking...
The one where the diver gets eaten.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. We'll come to that.
Oh,
But we get the helicopter shortly after this, don't we? Where the sheriff is
We're hanging a piece of meat
hanging a piece of meat
from
from
the
the
helicopter.
But we also choose this point to drop the line, we're going to need a bigger helicopter. It's like, oh, no, you didn't.
The fucking it couldn't get any worse.
It's
But yet it
insulting.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and that was another sequence where when the sheriff's in the helicopter, it's pretty clear that he's on land. Like, the blades are going,
He's
but
sitting in a helicopter
Yeah.
at the fucking war memorial.
yeah, but the blades are going. But then you see, when the shark latches onto the thing, you just see the fucking film move around a bit, and he throws himself. He goes and then just dives out of the helicopter.
And of
Oh,
course,
man.
they're using shark footage where a shark is attacking a piece of bait.
Yes,
Consistently through this period. They're
Yep,
constantly
yep.
getting that footage, which is obviously footage you can have for free.
but not consistent with the
Or
rest of the shark
potentially
footage.
belongs to someone. I don't know.
I looked at that and I said, well, that's not a dolphin. Like, fuck.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, we haven't. It's not a tiger shark. It's also not a rubber shark that seems to fucking come up out of the water and just open its mouth like this.
Yeah.
Okay, the mayor's daughter comes in for some more treatment.
Yeah.
This point, her dad slaps her this time. Fuck.
What's going on in that
Violence
family?
against women, Bruno.
What is going on in the family?
God. Both of her father and her brother slap her in this film.
Yes. And you wonder why she's running to Bob.
Exactly. You keep saying Bob's the son of a bitch, but
Yeah, Bob's the only bloke that treats her half decently. in
Bob's the
film.
only decent bloke.
Yeah.
For some reason, this is where the mob comes back in because they want to get something out of the wreck, don't they?
Yeah. We just start discovering that because they find the map with the little thing that's circled that says it's here, and they determine shit, we're onto something. There's something really valuable here.
But yet,
So they go
Billy
and start
says that what was
tampering with
on
boats.
the ship was actually the shark,
Yeah.
was what was in the ship that went down,
Yes.
right? So the wreck had the actual shark in
There's
it.
got to have been something else there of value.
But it turns out there wasn't, was there? Because all they do is go down and take, like, charges down there.
Yeah.
They don't get anything.
I don't know. I'm confused.
I thought there might have been a nuclear warhead or something.
Yeah, I thought there was something else on the boat, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I think in the end it is just the shark, and the mob guys didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good one.
But anyway, they suit up, and one of them's wearing one of them's got his wrestling gear on with his wrestling tights on the bottom.
He looked like he was fucking auditioning for Gladiator. He looks fucking ridiculous. He's wearing his skitties. Then he suits up, and this is where the last shark fucking suddenly appears. The entire sequence of footage from the movie The Last Shark, which is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
The shark's head pops up, and
The dummy.
it's got a dummy in its
Yeah,
mouth.
a
and
fake
it's
shark
hanging
eating a
fucking
dummy
this way.
looks fucking great, doesn't it?
I mean, Bruno, I look at that, Bruno, even if I'm as cheap as you are and I'm trying to fucking cut corners, I see that footage and I go, I would not use that.
I see that footage and I say, is there any more stuff in Jaws that we haven't used yet?
Is there a sequence where there's a diver who's hanging out of the shark's mouth? Because fuck.
Okay, have we got anything from Jaws 4? We haven't, can we go there?
Haven't
Is there
used
anything
anything there. Didn't use anything from Jaws of Revenge.
No.
So they had standards to a point.
Yeah.
Not this shit. That's not a good
Yeah,
advertisement.
the last
Jaws of
shark,
Revenge.
pass.
Jaws
Jaws
of
4?
Revenge?
No, we don't need any of
Can't
that.
do it. Can't do it. But that footage is glaringly out of sync with everything else that's going on. So, and he uses it quite liberally there. Like
Yeah,
that's a
it's a
large
lot.
portion.
Yep.
They use a number of probably minutes
Yep.
of that. Now, the ending, this is the last thing for me. When we get to the ending, it didn't make a lot of sense because they're laying some charges
Yep.
and then we keep getting some shit from the original Jaws and it gets stuck down there. Is that right? I couldn't tell because
Someone
I
got
couldn't,
stuck down there and then they got back up. And
I couldn't see it. I couldn't actually see it
Fair.
because it's fucking dark.
Dark and murky.
Murky and...
I did see when it all comes together, though, the shark's head blowing up, which was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the best bit that Bruno managed to fucking put together.
But then, of course, these blokes who, I don't know, could you see it from the surface? I don't know. But they start cheering and
They love it.
backslapping and
There's no
high-fiving.
music.
And old mate is back. Has been back for a little while. Old mate that left for 45 minutes to go and rip some balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're missing the scene. Where have you been for the last couple
I've been
of days?
ripping balls off
I
for
was-
fucking 45
I was so
minutes.
heated, I just needed to rip some balls. So I went out and
Yeah. He tells the sheriff there's a couple of guys who were missing their testicles.
may or may not have been. It could have been a shark attack. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure a shark chewed their nuts off, but it's not confirmed. But don't look at me.
Yep.
There's not an ounce of suspense in that fucking sequence.
No.
There's no music, so it doesn't generate anything in that respect. It's like Bruno was like, let's just get to the end.
Yeah.
Imagine being in the editing room with Bruno.
God.
He goes, I've got all these movies in here. Can you fucking cut
There'd be
together?
reels everywhere. Yeah. But then,
He'd be going through Jaws footage going, can we use a bit of this?
so what I get is the end is they collect the money for killing the shark, which then pays 3 months in arrears of rent. And somehow the businessman's back on
Honest to
board. and
goodness.
everything.
It's a fuck- They made it so complicated. Like, you don't even need that bit.
Dag's back in business, mate. That's all we needed to know.
He's running a combination aquarium / fucking wrestling ring.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be harsh here, but the little girl,
Terrible.
what? You beat me to it.
Let's be honest.
She was terrible. Why was the character even there though? Other than to
Well, she's not put her in any danger
they
either.
put her in the water once.
Oh, yeah, she falls out of it.
So Vanessa,
She falls out of a wheelchair. at one
didn't you
point.
say someone pushed her on the
Yeah.
some bastard ran past and pushed the wheelchair? You bastard! Dag's coming for you, and his buddy's going to rip your nuts off.
He's going to fucking unleash the 22-inch pythons on your fucking ass. You know what? She's in danger briefly,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Yes.
So, but there was no real need to have her in danger.
No
it
need
didn't
to
matter.
have her. No need to have
Testicle
ripper. Probably could have done with one less pussy inspector. And everyone is
And it was a small town, Jared. You only need one pussy inspector per town.
So the little girl is very bad. Billy and Vanessa, awful.
Jesus Christ. Vanessa's slightly better than him, but far out. It's not. Like, she does get a little bit of dander up when she tells him, fuck you, and leaving. Goes straight to the nightclub.
Yeah, I mean, if we left that in Dag's hands, it would have just been a
Fuck you.
said, yeah, fuck off, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I've lost the will to live. I fucking lost the will to live, Dag. I know that much.
I was close. By about 85 minutes, I was there.
Look, you usually know when things aren't going well, Jared, when you're constantly clicking on the fucking thing to check the timer going, fucking hell, how long's this got to go?
Yeah, the issue was when the finale came along and we were under the water, it didn't allow us to have many laughs with the bad dialogue and whatever was going on. But
and
yeah,
in fact,
Bruno
those sequences are just boring. They're flat.
I mean, there's almost something impressive about the cheapness.
Bruno, Jaws is a fucking classic piece of cinema.
How many days do you reckon he actually shot?
Maybe about a week.
Because
clearly he wasn't looking for extra takes.
Well, no, he's not getting close-ups. He's not getting... There was so many things where 3 or 4 people in a scene are all just talking together and we're not going to get anything bar a couple of reaction shots and then we move on.
So that's how Bruno does it quick.
Yeah.
He does it quick, dirty. He steals from others. He's a fucking thief. Bruno, look, let me lay this on you. Jaws is a classic of cinema. One of the greatest movies of all time. You managed to turn Jaws into shit. Parts of Jaws into shit. Like, you managed to take the whole fucking plot line, including some footage from the movie, and turn it into cheap garbage.
Yeah.
And that is a fucking effort in itself, Jared. But I would agree that there are too many characters. There's too much going on. Like, if you want to cut corners, get rid of some of those characters. You didn't need them. Make it simple.
Yeah. But let's not pretend I'm not going to sniff out a couple more Bruno Mattei movies and see how much was lifted
Of
from
course,
other things.
I would have a look at Bruno's catalogue.
Yeah.
Because Bruno got laughs.
I think there's a couple more on Tubi that I'll be. I'll be sniffing around.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But God, it was funny to watch.
It was a good time.
Yes.
It was a good time.
Yep.
So, if I'm going to shit on Bruno, his filmmaking skill, yes, he's rubbish. But he managed to entertain me to a degree.
He whipped together a massive amount of movies, I think. So
did he?
We better check out. Yeah. Better check out what else we can
better
come
reassess
across.
Bruno's catalogue.
Don't expect to hear about too many of them
No.
on a year. But
No, don't. But we might, a little bit of the old, what we've been watching might include some Bruno pieces.
Of course.
But that was Cruel Jaws, a.k.a. Jaws 5. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Podomatic, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. We're on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and Instagram at thrillmepodcastau. Keep an eye on the Facebook page to see what we're covering in the next episode. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch you all later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.